What up with you? It's a great day in the Lord. Great day in the Lord. I don't know why I did that, but I did, and so what? All right, so I didn't eat breakfast. I should have eaten breakfast. Breakfast is important. So I was looking at some jobs and trying to just doing some self-navigating. You know, some basic, look around, even though I can't really do anything about it. But what are the best jobs in America? Now, to me, the definition, sweet Christmas, excuse me. To me, the best jobs in America are the ones that are easily transferable. What I mean is, can you grow in that job? Not grow into it. Can you grow in it? Once you're in that position, the longer you stay, the more you get paid? There's your financial growth, or is it a stagnant job like, this is how much it pays and that's it? Like, that's it. I don't care if it's $100,000. If that's it, that's it. It's not going to go above that ceiling. Like, is it that type of job? Because if it's that type of job, some people go, 100 G's, yeah, I'm on board, until you make 100 G's. And you see all your taxes come out, you lose half of it. Lose half of it in taxes, that's it. And then you start living according to how much you make. And then your 100 G's turns, it's like, you're like, I want more. It's like, no. You go out, you get that house, you got the family with the 2.5 kids, and you got 2-car garage, in a nice, crib, and the 2 cars. And, kids cost money. They're expensive. And you'll see your $100,000 just taking a nosedive. And, next thing you know, you're check to check. All that money that you thought you were going to make, and you were just going to go on vacations and go wherever, Maui or whatever. You're check to check. And you can't wait to see your next check. And the thing about it is, every check that you get is not adding to your bank account to make it more than what it was the last time you got your check. All it's doing is replacing the same number. That's what check to check is. You have to have that next check in order to sustain your living. And that's a problem. Like, I don't care how much money it is. If you're living check to check, then you're going to find yourself in a position where you want to get out of check to check. You're just like, I need to make an extra, might set up a lemonade stand or something just to see an extra dollar come from somewhere that you can actually save. And a lemonade stand is not a bad idea. The only problem is it's seasonal. But nonetheless, every summer, set up a lemonade stand. Get yourself an extra $5, $10, $25 a freaking week and stack it. Because even though you're making 100 G's here, you're like, you know what? For the last 3 months and 3 years, I've been making $25 a week just doing a lemonade stand, and I haven't been using it. I don't know what that amounts to, but it was 3 months, and it was a week, so it was 4 weeks. So that's $100. What is it? I don't know. I'm confusing myself. I'm not a mathematician. But so every month you're doing $400, so $1,200, I think. Something like that. I don't know. $900. I don't know what it is. Okay, let me get this together. Okay, you're making $100 a week. If you're making $25 a week and 4 weeks in the average month, then that's $100. Then so you got 1, 2, 3. So you got 3 months. So you're doing boom. You're doing $300. But that's $300 that you're not using. For the last 3 years, like I said, it's $900. So you got this $900 and you're just like, some people are like, that's nothing. You're like, well, now my account says that I have $900 more than what I did. You know, all of a sudden, you're like, you may be living check to check, but you got this, and that's something you can grow on. It's just like, okay, $900. Even though it's small, you're just like, I wonder how I can double up on that. At $25 a week, I wonder how I can make that 50. I can make that 150. Next thing you know, you got yourself a nice little side gig that you're doing $400 or $500 a week. And that's substantial, especially when, listen, $1,000, you know what I'm saying? People can scoff at that all you want. I never scoff at that. I don't care how rich I am. I'll be like, I just made a G doing what? Let's do more. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you could take that G and just invest it into something else. It's $1,000. You could trade with $1,000. Just penny stocks. I don't know. I'm just saying it's $1,000 that you didn't have. And $1,000 more than what you had before. Yeah, I'm with that program. I don't care. I'm with that program all day. So here are just some jobs that showing up, and I'm not going to read about all of them, but here's some of them. Physician assistants, data science, electronical engineer, business development, creative jobs, artists and stuff like that, database administrator, financial mining, human resources. I'm going to get back to database administrators or data mining, data science, because those are interesting to me. Human resource, mechanical engineer, big time. Site reliability engineer, boom. Business analyst, facility management consultant, operating management. These are just the jobs. Like I said, I'm not going to really read into them. But here's the 100 best. I'm not going to read all 100 of them. But you have ones like software developer, dentist, physician's assistant, nurse practitioner, orthodontist, statistician, pediatrician, obstetrician and gynecologist, oral and you know what? I'm not even doing that. I don't even know how to say this word. MAXILLOFACIAL surgeon. Maxillofacial. Okay. Maxillofacial surgeon. Wow. Maxillofacial. Okay. Physician. I'm just going to keep reading. Occupation therapist, physician's therapist, anesthesiologist. The medical world is just, it's just going to keep booming. I don't think the medical world is just going to ever stop. And that's cool with me because my degree is in the medical field. Surgeon. Let's see what else here. Psychiatrist. I guess I better start talking. So psychiatrist, Prosthodontist, prosthodontist, I don't know. Oh my goodness. I have to sound it out like you do in, in school. You got to go ahead, Anthony. Sound it out. Prosthodontist. That's what I got. Dental hygienist, registered nurse, marketing manager. Marketing is a good field. Facial therapist assistant. Excuse me. Did I say facial? I'm sorry. Physical therapist assistant. Respiratory therapist. Nurse. Anesthesiast. Yeah. Optometrist. Actuary. Mathematician. Diagnostic medical sonograph. There it is. Cost estimator. Get busy. Business operations manager. A podiatrist, foot doctor. A veterinarian, animal doctor. Radiologist. I'm sorry. Well, radiologist probably gonna be on it too. Radiation therapist. I'm sorry. Information security analyst. Information security. A lawyer, which is what I want to be at the end of the day. Mechanical engineer. Nurse midwife. Help get them babies going. Accountant. Financial advisor. Speech language pathologist. Civil engineer, big money. Now it has what these pay, the median of what they pay. I mean, civil engineer, it has to, it shows how many jobs there are out there. It shows the median that they pay. So civil engineer, there's 32,100 jobs out there. The median pay is median average. It's 83,540. And then it has the percentage of unemployment rate, which is 1.5. So I'm not going to do that with all these, but financial manager, wind turbine technician. I have yet to even meet, like, I would love to meet somebody who does this. Like, because this is not, like, you got to be getting hazard pay for a wind turbine technician, like, because there's nowhere to go when this thing catches on fire, and they have, and people have died from it. So, like, you know what I'd like to see? I would like to see more safety, because the world is going towards green, green energy, and wind turbine is one of the, green energy, like, big deals out there. A lot of people are using it because the earth provides its own energy. It's not like we have to keep mining it and all this other stuff. The earth gives you energy. It's perfect. And I really like wind turbine type of energy, and, other turbine like water energy you're getting from water, because it can, light up thousands of houses and stuff like that. Just a few turbines, so I really dig it. But when I saw a story of how two men pretty much said their goodbyes to each other because one of them caught on fire, and one of the turbines caught on fire, and they were at the top of it. One of them jumped. One guy, they knew each other, they worked with each other, they were comrades, they were friends. And the one guy just, they just looked at each other and was like, it was real. Thanks, I love you, may God bless you. But I'm not going to stand here and burn. I'm going to go ahead and take the plunge. And the one guy just jumped off of the wind turbine, and the other one burned up. And I'm like, there's got to be a better way to protect these people who are trying to, give us, a chance to live. Hey, Tony, how are you? I'm doing fine, Miss Nicole. How are you? Thank you, my sister. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Anyway, so when I saw that story, that's Miss Nicole, everyone. Great singer. Check out her website. And I really felt bad for these guys. And I was like, why can't there be some type of emergency apparatus that they can, I don't know, slide down a pole or something? Why can't there be like a bat pole or something for the, I don't know. Like right there at the edge where they were, they should have been able to step off of that thing and click on to something and slide down that sun gun and boom, hit the ground and boom. Jerry and Bob should have been just fine. I just don't think they should have lost their life. So I'm really concerned about this, but I'm not an engineer, so I can't, you know, my degree is in, you know, health management. But I would like to see something done about that because I have always felt bad about that story. It's a terrible, terrible story. I just went down a whole list of them. I got more coming. You don't have a website yet. Well, see, I'm promoting you. I'm promoting you and I'm encouraging you at the same time. How you like me now? Okay, so a wind turbine technician. There are 5,500 jobs out there. The median pay is $52,260, and the unemployment rate is 4.9%. Okay, so there's IT manager, there's massage therapist. I think, hey, no problem, Miss Nicole. I think Miss Nicole, aren't you you're a therapist, aren't you? You have I think she's a therapist. Anyways, I'm just gonna go ahead and cite this. Massage therapist. There are 37,700 jobs out there for massage therapists. Yeah, she's a massage therapist. Yeah, okay. 70K in Houston, average salary. Okay, so she's saying 70K in Houston's average salary. So obviously, yeah, it matters in what place in America you live and don't have mats. Okay, so 37,700 jobs out there. There are, the median pay is around 40,000, so it's 39,860. That's not bad. That's not bad. And the unemployment rate is 1.0%. That's at $40,000 a year. You can stack on that. A single person, like, I don't know how much. I would love to interview Miss Nicole, like have her on a live chat, but she has not given me the privilege to do that yet. But you know, it is what it is. But so like I would like to interview people who are already in the workforce and doing stuff, you know. And you can do that with Skype, but some people are just, I don't know. Anyways, so 40,000 a year. They're saying that's the median salary in America. You know what I mean? That's not bad at all. And that's not a 4-year degree. That's like I don't know how long it takes to become a massage therapist, but I'm just like, hell, I get on that myself. You know what I'm saying? I know a young lady who actually did that. She graduated from a 4-year college and was like, okay, now I'm gonna go get my massage therapy certificate. And, you know, she became just pretty much a housewife. And because her husband owned his own business. And she was like, you know what? We're doing good. We have a 5-bedroom, you know, full of people. But I still like my independence. I'm going to go out here and just do my massage therapy thing. And that's exactly what she did. And she still does, to my knowledge. For massage, or massage, the average income. Okay, so she's giving me some pertinent information here. So a spa owner average income is, okay, for a spa owner, 139 to 165K. Okay, average income. That's not bad. A massage therapist, have to know the body, nerves, organs, insertions. Attachments, okay. Yep, it makes money, that's for sure. Okay, she's saying that's for Houston only. So I think she's gonna detach from where she's living now and migrate to Houston. So this is the income she's in at. This is the projected income. So there that is, which is very important. Projected income is very, very, very important. All average therapists will make 35 in Florida, 20 to 30, very low. So she's saying 20 or 30 is very low. I'm going to go ahead and agree with that. But for a certificate, I don't know how long it takes. I don't know if it's a 6 months. I don't know if it's a year. I don't know if it's a 3-month course. I don't know if it's online. I don't know anything about it. But what I do know is it's something that you can get within a relatively short amount of time and start prospering off of it. You know, so there's that. Okay, so a school psychologist, a pharmacist, a computer systems analyst. To get a license, it takes between 8 months to a year. Still not bad. 8 months to a year is not bad. That's going to fly past anyway. You might as well have it fly past and prosper. Crooked my nut. 8 months to a year is not a lot of time. That's not a lot of, especially when you're talking about college. Oh no, that's it goes by that fast. This is the reason why I want my master's degree, because the master's degree is only like a year. The master's degree I'm looking at is in it's a MBA, and it's 14 months. So it's a year and 2 months. Like, no, that's quick. The cost is the biggest problem. It's $24,000. So I will be grant hunting here pretty soon in order to get that. And also I'm going to start my internship. And the first place I'm going to intern is, I think I'm going to just call the VA hospital, because I am a veteran. And the VA hospital, their administrator is leaving. So their administrator is leaving, and so she, so she's the head honcho. And so I just want to go and intern there, a no-pay intern. I just want to start tailing some people and getting some experience. So thank you, Nicole, for your information on massage therapist. So if anybody out there, housewives, house husbands, young folk who don't want to go to 4-year college, don't want to take out them big student loans, have no interest whatsoever in taking out them huge, colossal loans that is going to take you more than 2 lifetimes to pay back, because you pay very little on the principal. Most of what you pay is on insurance, which means it's a scam. If you're looking at just taking out a couple $1,000s and you think you can make that money back, massage therapists, they're making money. They're making money. Everybody wants one. Heck, I wish I had one here right now. I'd be like, yeah. My elbow, cervical, man, I needs all that, right in the lower lumbar, yeah, I needs all that. Okay, operations research analyst. These are for you nerdy people, for you real nerdy people. 31,300 jobs out there. The median pay is $80,000. Well, it's 79,200. That's 80,000 to me. The unemployment rate is 3.3. That's a lot. Plumber. Oh my God. There are 75,800 jobs out there for a plumber. The median pay is 52,000 almost, and 4.4 unemployment. That's pretty doggone good. Oh, okay. The good ones. I think you should manage my massage business, Tone. I'll give you 10% of the monthly income. If I manage your massage business, all right, that's interesting. Okay, so I know she's joking, but nonetheless, so she's saying if I manage, she's saying she'll give me 10% of the income for managing her massage. For one, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. So I'm gonna read some more what you're saying. My first year as a therapist, I made read some more of her comments. She says she made $136K by herself, but I'm really good, and I was booked in advance up to 4 months at a time. That's what's up. That's why I opened a spa. Okay. 55 to handle. Oh my goodness. Okay. Oh, she says she is serious. All right, well. Okay, so my degree is in healthcare management, and she falls under the healthcare umbrella. So here's how this works as a manager, because a lot of people in healthcare management, they do have the opportunity to go on and open up their own businesses, and some of them do, because when you get a BA in healthcare management, it gives you a rough view, holistic view of the healthcare system. Now, the good is it's a holistic view of the healthcare system. The downside of that degree is you really do need a master's degree in that, because there are some specifics in there that you might want to target yourself towards. Okay, nonetheless, so as far as a managerial side, if I was to open a business and say have a therapist, I would immediately look to attach. Either one or more therapists, and I would look to attach more than one profession under that umbrella. So it would be something like you would have a therapist, a massage therapist, and there are a couple other therapists that operate under those same umbrellas. Now, they don't all have to be under the same roof, but they're under the same management umbrella. So I would immediately look for a massage therapist. I would look for more than one. I would look for a physical therapist. I would look for an occupational therapist, and I would look for a music therapist. I would look for an art therapist, and I would start an umbrella just basically under therapy. And that's how that management group would go. So I would start off with a massage therapist. Not a bad route to go. This is still in hypothetics, even though she's serious. Not a bad route to go. Why? Because the money's immediate. She's already making money. You don't have to sit there and wait for people to come into the door. People need massage therapists. Chiropractors need massage therapists. You know what I'm saying? So, and as a manager, like I said, you can manage a bunch of different houses, but they're all up under the same umbrella. So you don't have to be in everybody's face all day, but all the numbers have to You know what I'm saying? So all your management numbers from the physical therapist, from the occupational therapist. Now, I would like to have that all under one roof, but you got to grow somewhere. So if Nicole and I was to actually go in business together, I think the first thing that I would have to do was I would have to see how stable her income is, which means she would have to tell me her taxes. Like I would have to look at, like it wouldn't be just a guesstimation. I would have to literally, go into the accountant part of it and say, I need to see your tax. Why? Because you have to start off with a balance sheet. Okay, you got to get your 4 major sheets together in order to start off the fiscal year. That's the first thing you need to do. You need to know how much money you're dealing with on average. You need to know when your peak season is. You need to know when your dry season is. You need to know the territory that you're working with. What's the hot territory? What's the not territory? You know what I'm saying? You need to learn all of that before you can say, okay, let's go into business. Because you might run into business and you might be in an area that's very country. There's just not a lot of people who are interested in massage therapy. But, you might go to a city and there are so many therapists that it's hard for you to eke out a living there. So you got to find the right place for you to set up, just like a strip mall where there's going to be traffic. It's the same thing. And another thing is your fixed costs. Your fixed cost can hurt you or help you. And your fixed cost is your light bill, your gas bill, your light bill, your gas bill, your rent. Those are fixed. You know that they're coming. They're usually about the same. Of course, the water bill goes up and down, depends on how many people's using water. But I'm saying those are your fixed costs. So when you take your fixed cost, you're like, okay, do I want to go into a strip mall, put my little therapist management, blah, blah, blah. Do I want to do that? Because now your fixed cost is just going up because you have to pay rent for when you're at a strip mall. Or do I want my therapist to, if they're working out of home, especially when it comes to the type of therapist Nicole is, if they're in their home, do I need to set up, get chairs and the whole setup that they need and get an office, get a secretary and because that's expensive. Do I need to do that? Or do I want her to just go ahead and just work out of your home from now? But nonetheless, as far as the management part, I would have to start managing her money. I would have to start managing her, getting her customers. I would have to, and then getting somebody else under the same umbrella and, start pushing a product and stuff like that. That's what a manager does. Well, that's kind of manager marketing, but nonetheless, once you get somebody to handle the marketing side, they're the ones who's really pushing her product. I'm the one that's making sure everything is right for each fiscal year. So just wanted to throw that out there, and I would do it. I mean, she lives in another side of the country, but like I said, for one, the internet makes everything easier. You don't have to be in somebody's face. You really don't have to be in their side of the country or in the country. You can still manage them. You know what I mean? You just need all their numbers. You need all their honest numbers because you're going to get audited. You're going to get audited. So if any numbers are fake, and then you need to find out what your percentage is and then work everything out, so on and so forth like that. So if you're serious, that's something you need to do. You need to tell me your numbers. I need to research exactly what you're doing in that area. And then once we get it all together, exactly what my role is and finances and all that other stuff, then I would have to start, have to LLC. And being that I don't want the overhead of having an office, it would just be pure online. So all of your reporting would go online, all of it. Because we don't live in the same city, it'd probably be online anyway. But until, you know, you got a couple people that were under you or working beside you doing different therapy jobs or the same, then get yourself a brick and mortar. You know what I mean? Or a strip mall. If you get bigger, then brick and mortar, but brick and mortar is usually around $1 million to build something. Well, you see what I'm saying. So there's just different levels just to think about. Dry season is August. Peak season is September. See, that's important. You're opening a full med spa. Okay, so that's brick and mortar. But you're probably going to open in you're not going to build it. You're going to have a like at a strip mall or something like that, right? Or a mall, regular mall, you know. But you're not going to. So, okay, so she says dry season is. So she knows when dry season is. Very important. Very important. Now I would have to find out how many therapists are in her area. And I would have to find out what is her median, what is her average that she's doing each year. I would have to know what your average you're doing each week. You know what I'm saying? Like, what'd you make this week? You know what I'm saying? And then have it charted out, do a flow chart, and pretty much figure out, you know, when the dip is coming and, you know, when it stabilizes and that type of thing. And then look at all the therapists in that geographical area, maybe just that city, and say, this is what they're doing. This is when it falls. This is when it rises. This is who your number one customers are. This is your secondary and then your tertiary customers, and then how to find new customers and or how to get new contracts. That's the important part. It's not just so much of Aunt May, you know, Aunt May got a, you know, slip disc, you know, T3 or whatever, and she needs to be seen twice a month for the next 3 months. That's cool. But if you can get with Aunt May's hospital, you know what I'm saying? And have it billed through her insurance, oh, now we're talking. Now we're talking. Because there's a good chance that, you know, that ain't the only Aunt May out there. And, you know, you're going to be a busy person. Now you need more therapists because now you got a contract. You're just like, you know what I'm saying? Because we're giving them a price break, but we're going to be contracted out for the next 5 years. Oh, let's go. Let's go. Let's nursing home. Roll up on a nursing home like, hey, this is who we are. This is what we do. Oh, let's go. Let's go. That sounds about right. That sounds about right. No, but insurances will cover a business. Will cover a business. Business insurance. I heard of some things that are going on with streaming. I know things are changing for the artists. some things are changing for the artists, but you probably know more than me because you're kind of in that business too. But yeah, getting them contracts, getting that money coming in, 2-3 year contracts, let's get it. Show up at the nursing home twice a week, handle 4 patients. You know what I'm saying? 4 patients, 1 therapist, handle 4 patients, $30 each patient. That's $1,200 right there in one day. Or excuse me, that's $120 right there in one day. You know what I'm saying? Do that twice a week. That's what? $240, $480, and then 800. I don't know what it is, 1,000 some odd a month. So that's not bad, and that's just one spot, 1 therapist. Oh yeah, all day. This is true. Yep. Get out there and do them shows. So that is something to think about. I got to look at how some of these places are managed, especially small practices. I got to look at what insurance is covering what. But it's something to think about, especially if I can do it from here. Have an online practice. One thing about it is I'm still in my gridlock, my financial gridlock. I can only make so much money a year or a month. So wow. Oh yeah. Yeah, she don't write those songs. She still got royalty checks though. I mean, they're just gonna be eating off her royalty checks. Yeah, because she's not performing. She slowed down, had that baby. She does have what? She has 1 endorsement. I don't have an opinion on that. She has one. She has one endorsement. But she might pick up some more. She's smart, she would. Anyway, so those are some of the hottest jobs in America. I'm not endorsed by them. Yep. The medical field is probably the hottest field out there. The management field. I used to work in the marketing field. I make good money, but the marketing field is peak season is the summer. Not unless it's online only marketing. Then your peak season isn't the summer because most people are out. Peak season is the winter because most people are in looking at the computer. So, plus she's in a warm area too. Miami and Houston are both warm areas. Huh. I gotta look that. I'm curious about that. Managing a I'm looking at managing a small. Now you got me curious. If I actually could. I mean, I could, but one person, that's. I don't think it gets any smaller than that. You got one person to manage, which would be good for me, I think. That would make us what, business partners? Guess you can throw your. I guess you can throw people. Other people who are in the medical field, might want to come in under the same umbrella. Not saying any names. Saying there's people out there you might know that might be interested in doing the same thing because they work in the medical field. The same. We all got peoples. I didn't want to say nobody's name, because I know how folks get when I start saying folks' names. They get all, they get testy. Oh, why you got to mention so-and-so every time you go live? Well, I ain't want nobody coming down on me because I made an adjustment. Forget why you go. I'm to see that neck moving now. I ain't want to go to that. Okay, but IV drip and injections wouldn't be needed for massage therapy. So we got massage therapy y'all got going on. Never heard of invasive. Folk out there a little bit sensitive. A little testy. Get to fixing your. Why you got to calm down? Why you got to mention his name again? Say his name one more time. One more. Full Small has that. So what is the IV drip for? Please explain that, because I don't know much about massage therapy other than they put you in a chair and you get your whole, you get your 3 areas did, do your legs sometime. Hit you in the glutes. You gotta watch the glutes. You got me. Infusion is a new holistic Well, there it is, people. Something new. IV drip. Never even knew that was a thing. Now, pain medicine. Like, I have an appointment for pain coming up this week. So I'll be going to a pain medicine visit. And I don't know if they're going to hit me with the Hulk Hogan elbow and right there in the lower lumbar, thoracic, cervical. I don't know if I'm getting any of that, but I'm hoping so. Maybe The Rock might be there. Can you smell what The Rock is cooking? I don't know how my knees are. T3, hit me in the T3. You know what I'm saying? Might get some of that up and then that felt great. You want them bear hugs and crack your whole spine. Oh yeah. I feel much better, thanks. Thanks, Dwayne Johnson. That really helped. Yeah, I never knew it. Okay. I would not know how to manage long distance, but everybody's doing it, so. Because everything is internet-based. I want my company to be internet-based, too. Because I really don't want to, I don't want an overhead. I don't. I like when people work out of their home. Like, my secretary doesn't have to be, I want that person to work out of their house. When we send in the HICFAs and the billings and the insurance billings, we just, boom, all over the internet. They take it, 2, 3 o'clock at night, they could be up. Boom, 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 boom. I need it by 6 o'clock in the morning. Boom. All the HICFA's done, all the billing, all the ICD-10 billings is done. Boom. Send it right off to the insurance company. Boom, bam, the insurance company pays. Y'all get paid and keep it. Hey, that's what I'm about. You know what I'm saying? So-and-so could be in Cleveland. The other person could be in Massachusetts. Hey, then you set up about 10 people and manage all of them online. They all working out of their house. No overhead income. You have no debt. There's no debt as far as your fixed income, and I'm all about that. Because it just costs too much. The house, all those, it's just like, nah, we don't need that. Just no debt. You work out of your house. Your fixed income, and what you do is, being that you're going to someone else's house, like, it doesn't, like, your bill, as a matter of fact, your electric bill comes down because you're not there. You know what I'm saying? You're just not at home. And the more you work, the less your electric bill is. That's just the way it is. You're just not there. You know what I'm saying? And so I enjoy the thought of that more than building a brick and mortar. It just costs too. It costs too much. I'd rather have all my management being online. All of it. All of it. Everyone I manage, I don't care what side of the country that they're in. And just rock like that. As long as they're getting their billing statements in. Those billing statements are getting to me on time. That's what's really important. And as long as they're not committing healthcare fraud. Because that's the thing. If you fill out one of them HICFAs and it's wrong, and you say you did something that you didn't do, and I don't know because I'm taking your word for it, and we get paid for it, we just committed healthcare fraud without my knowledge. And then let's just say that we've been doing this 5 years, and you've been seeing these people, and you've been doing this, and I'm like, I know that you're seeing these people, but I don't know that you're doing this right here. And you're saying I'm billing them an extra $15, $20 for this, and you're really not doing it, but you're getting $15, $20 a person, an extra $200, $300, a week. Turn that into months, years, and then I don't know that you. Next thing you know, my company gets hit with healthcare fraud. And I'm like, what happened? Then they audit me, and then once we start looking through everything, they start looking at this particular person's HCFS came in, and this is what they're saying are getting done, and this is where the overcharge is. So they'll look at the ICD-10 coding and say, you coded a person for therapy on a full range therapy, a full body therapy. But what you actually did was only the 3 parts of the back. You didn't do the whole body therapy. And you didn't do the IV drip. You just did the regular therapy. And we know that you didn't do it because it's not set up in the places that you went to. But nonetheless, you said you did it, and you charged the extra $30, $40 a person, 3-4 people a week. That money ran over into the thousands at the end of the year. They're not going to necessarily come after me. They're going to come after the company. And then I'm going to see who did or did not do what they say they were going to do. And then, you sue them. You fire them first, and then you take them to civil court. And then, of course, they can also go to court federally. If the amount is over $250, if the amount is over $2,500, now you're in the federal court, and most likely it will go over $2,500 like within the first couple months. So that's a federal crime, that you were committing through Medicaid, Medicare. You know what I'm saying? So that type of thing is real, and it's happening all the time. That's the biggest problem with just managing these facilities now, because so many people have found loopholes in the healthcare business. It's so big that if you ever watch American Greed, there was a story how these people from another country came into this country and went to New York and set up a healthcare facility, and were lying, just blatantly lying about the services that they were producing for these patients. But nonetheless, they were still seeing a patient. But they were doing what's called upcoding. So they would say, I did this on one leg, which is one ICD-10 coding. But if you're doing it on both legs, that's another ICD-10 coding. The reason why the coding has changed from ICD-9 to ICD-10 is because the codes were not covering all the procedures. It's like a stock when it splits. You know what I'm saying? So that's why there's ICD-10. And as we keep going, there'll be 11, 12, because the codes have to cover the procedure. So there's so many procedures for a broken finger. And what you're going to do with this finger is compound, is hairline. You know what I'm saying? Those are different ICD-10 codings and what you do for them. So it's billed through the government differently. So if you had a compound fracture and you fixed it, that's a whole different process than fixing a hairline fracture. Compound fracture is when the finger breaks completely. That's compound. Hairline fracture is when it's just a crack in the bone. Hairline fracture. You know what I'm saying? So there are differences between the way a bone breaks, how it breaks, where it breaks, what bone it is. All of those codings are different. So the government pays for them differently. So that's what I'm saying. That's the biggest problem right now is healthcare fraud is huge because people are able to get around those codes by saying they did a procedure that they didn't. But here's how they get caught: greed. Because for one, the people who are doing this don't know every in and out of the government system because it's changing. As you can see, we had Obamacare. Now we have a president who wanted to get rid of Obamacare. It constantly changes. So bills and procedures are constantly being rewritten. That's just the nature of the beast. But in a way, that's good. But the problem is it costs us trillions and trillions of dollars. Just the healthcare field is costing us trillions and trillions of dollars. That's why the Obama administration, not the Obama administration, but Obamacare was not made by Barack Obama. It was implemented by Barack Obama. It was made by, I think, Reagan. I think Reagan might have made Obamacare. So it was made a long time ago, and then it was implemented by Obama. So that's why I called it Obamacare. But it was made to actually cut down on the deficit, on what we owe. That's what it was actually made to do, you know. Now, when you're looking at Obamacare and universal health care, it was kind of made to compete with it. Because you have countries like France, England, and, you know, you have these countries that have universal health care. There are third world countries that have universal health care. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, how do you have universal? But they do. They have universal health care where anyone can walk into a hospital and get fixed. But then your taxes are just like, you know, you look at Canada's healthcare system. You know, I think Canada's has universal health care. The taxes are crazy because everybody's paying for it no matter what. No matter what. So even if you're not hurt, you're still paying for healthcare. So that's pretty much how that goes. So a loaf of bread over here costs $2.99. A loaf of bread over there about $7, $8.99. I'm just saying, if we revert to a universal health care, that's exactly what would happen. The price of whatever would just, it'll shoot up. So just some information on the biggest problems with managing other people. You're hoping that they're going to be honest Americans. It's not always so. And I'm not saying, no, I wouldn't, go into business with you. I'm just giving you some expertise on some of the research that I've done over the years and what I've been finding out. And some through class, some through just sitting here getting on the internet and just looking it up because it's very, 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 very interesting. And some of the laws that try to protect you from it. But as far as managing you, I don't see why I wouldn't do it. My fascination is mostly, how do you manage people you haven't met? You know what I'm saying? Like, but here's the thing. As far as being a manager, I've been a manager in different facets, different companies, for different marketing. I was marketing manager, guerrilla marketing. Guerrilla marketing is different than just regular marketing. Guerrilla marketing means you're on the street and you're just walking wherever and you're handing out pamphlets and you're trying to get people. I'm really good at that because I knew where to go and where not to go. Then there's a lot of people who hired me. I never met them. The way that they knew that I was doing a good job is because of the product that they had. So if I was handing out coupons for scrubbing bubbles, which I did, and the potential customer gets the coupon, looks at it, and I tell them about it and what it can do for them, they take that coupon and then they go where? They go directly to the store to use it. The way they were able to tell if the person was buying the product and what store they were buying it and what price they were buying it as is because of the scans. They would scan it, boop, use the coupon, get their 50 to 20 cents off, whatever it is. They bought the product. That scan goes directly to the marketing people, which goes directly to the company who made it. So what happened was we did such a good job in such a short time by getting the product out that they called me back and said, hey, we want you to go to another city and do the same thing. Which means they were paying me another $900 a week to do the same thing. And I use a blitzkrieg technique. In short, you ever heard blitz the market? Blitzkrieg is the whole name of blitz. Blitz is a short. And it's a German word for pretty much hurry up. When it comes to guerrilla marketing, I use a blitzkrieg technique because I don't like to be out there too long. I go where I wait until like people go on lunch and I just show up in front of their face. I don't go to any no malls. Can't go to a mall. Malls are private. You can't go to federal buildings. You can't stand in front of a federal building. You just can't do it. But you can go in front of a police station. Police stations always got traffic. You go to police station, courthouses, you can go in front of them and you can just stand there and just hand people no harm, no foul. You're allowed to do it. So over the years, I got really good at where to go and where not to go. And I would even tell some of these office managers who they would fly in and they was going to tell me what to do. And I say, you can't go there. And they'd be like, well, we're just going to try it because they don't know the streets. They know the office part. And I'd be like, I'm telling you now, if we go over here, we're going to be asked to move. Sure enough. Next thing you know, you see a cop pull up. You can't do that here. And they would try to be cute and negotiate, some little Asian woman who ain't never been on the block. Oh, well, we don't care. This is private property. You cannot solicit or loiter or, promote your product here without going through. You just can't do it. So we got kicked off and I just gave them that look like I told you so. But this is why you hired me, because I'm a guerrilla marketing manager. So I've done that before, I've managed shoe stores. So, I managed 2 shoe stores. So I have management background, just not in healthcare. So just to let you know, my resume is extensive, but management in healthcare is something that's totally new for me. All my knowledge of it is purely book knowledge. It's not hands-on. Although I did work for a health facility once, but it didn't last too long. I didn't get along with the people when I got out of there. So yeah, there's that. But yeah, it's interesting to me because the marketing field, their management techniques taught me something, and all management can be transferable. You know what I'm saying? All managers, their techniques can be used in and out of different companies in different ways. You know what I'm saying? You just can't have one management style and that's it. It just doesn't work. You have people who can't, I don't want to ever see your face. Just give me the numbers. You have those management techniques out there, and you know what? Not a problem with them. There's some guys that I work for I literally never met, but they paid me the most money. I made $3,000 in like 12 days. Never saw their face. Talked to them through email only. And it was, they sent me an email. This is where I need you to go. I sent them back an email and said, I'll be there. That was it. They knew that I was there because the other people who showed up said, this person's here. This is how long they worked. This is the hourly rates that they're worth. They sent that information back in. Boom, they sent me 2 checks. So that can be used when it comes to healthcare also. As long as you have all your numbers, and I stress numbers because it's just so important. to have all of the facts. It's just mad important. But another thing is, I would need more than just me and you. I do need an accountant. So I would have to start looking for accountants and, things along that line, and find out what do they charge and when do they charge what they charge. You're going to need a lawyer. You're going to need to at least retain a lawyer. And that costs. The thing about needing a lawyer is there's proactive and there's reactive lawyers. Your proactive lawyers is the ones who's writing your contracts for you, which is what you would need to go into business with somebody. So you would need a lawyer to write out your contracts. This is what you agreed to. This is what I agreed to. This is what the law says about this contract. And according to the law of the state, city, and government, according to the law, this is a business contract. So it's just not some willy-nilly law that I wrote on the back of the Kleenex and we said, okay, let's do it. Even though that is binding, if you agree to it and sign to it. It's binding. A handshake is binding. A head nod is binding depending on what state you're in. Gotta watch that. You enter into agreement. Like some people who win the lottery and tell somebody, I'll give you a certain amount if I win. Guess what? You're getting sued if you don't pay that person because what you said was binding, and that has happened. You'll see it a lot when these groups get into these, go ahead and play the lottery, and one person wins and they take off with the ticket. Guess what? They're going to get sued, so it's binding. So you will have to have a contract that clearly states what you're doing, what I'm doing, I'm saying, just the whole 9 yards, according to city, state, and federal. So you need a lawyer to at least write the contract. You don't always have to keep the lawyer on hand. You don't always have to keep paying that person. You say, we need a business contract. What are you doing? We're going into business together. This is what the business is. Boom, they say, okay, I'll write you out a contract. Cost you $300-$400. Boom. That's your business contract. So you need that. You need your accounting because you need to set up everything. Another thing is you need some type of software. Okay, so you need a website. So let's just say you and I went into business and I was managing you. I would have to look at it as, is it my business and is it your business, but we are co-business owners who are operating and going in the same direction? You got to look at that. Like, is what you do now your own business? Is it under 1099? 1099, your own business, meaning that's the tax category. Are you 1099 your own business? Or are you W-2? When you and I come into the same, when we join, are we 1099 or are we W-2? Very, 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 very important according to city, state, and country, because that's how you're taxed at the end of the year. So if we both come into business, we either have to be one or the other. That's that. You're not, okay. If I contract you out, I'm 1099. That's the bracket you're falling up under. Which means you go out, do something. The people who you perform whatever on, they pay me, I pay you. But when I pay you, I'm W-2. So I report to the government under W-2. But you yourself are a private contractor. You're 1099. You see what I'm getting at? So there's a difference. What up, Warren? I didn't even read his message. He gone now. My bad. What's today's mathematics? Today's mathematics is business. That's what it is. So just, right now you're probably 1099 because you're not up under anybody's umbrella. But if you came up under my umbrella, then I myself would probably be W-2. I could be 1099, but I think it's safer that I would be W-2, which means I'm going to take out the city, state, and government tax on my end of what I make. So when they audit me, they don't go, well, you owe us this money. However, you're working out of the state of Miami. The state of Miami's taxes are different. So when you're taxed, if you're 1099, this is your business. See, I used to work for a guy who I only met once. Met this guy once, so worked for him for 6 months. And what I did was I only worked on the weekends. I made about $450 every 2 days. And what he would do, okay. Hey, don't you move nowhere. Put on a different song. I'm gonna just put on a beat. So unique. Come on. Just a beat. Just a. Y'all ain't ready? No. Gonna give me an apple. What apple? Hey, Mom, I'll tell you. I'll give you apple. What your mama said? All right. Is accounting a good career? Yes. Yes, accounting is a good career. Okay. According to the top 100 accounting is on here somewhere. Yeah, here it is. Here's what an accountant makes. Okay, so here's how many jobs there are for accounting. There are 140,300, so 140,000 plus. The average that okay, I want to say this because there's accountants and then there's CPAs. So, you get your CPA kind of like your own boss, you know what I mean? So the median amount, it just says accountant right here. And this is number 36 in the country, is about $70,000. So 68, 150, 68,150. So I'd say that that's pretty good. $70,000 in this economy, especially if you're in the Midwest or in the East. I say if you're, depends on the city. If you're in LA, you know what I'm saying? It'll probably be a lot more because of the cost of living. So there's that. The unemployment rate is 2.5. I would say if you're a numbers person, go for it. My tax lady makes $500. She makes $500 a client. That's about right. But then it depends on what kind of accountant you are, who you're doing accounting for. The good thing about accounting is you can moonlight. Accounting and nursing, like plumbing, these are all jobs that you can work for a corporation and then do some on the side. Like if you watch any of my other videos, I always talk about having a side hustle. Always. I don't care if it's having a lemonade stand and you're making $25 a week. That's your $25. That goes in your pocket that you can either stick in your sock until you reach the amount that you were looking for of $300 to buy your kid a new bike or whatever. You don't have to go into your regular money and do it. You can just do it through the lemonade. Hey, to get you go eating up all the popcorn, how you doing? Enjoying best jobs in America and nursing lawyers. Yes. Yes. Yep. The nursing field, wide open. Men and women. Men and women. Wide open. You know what, Kichiko? I tell you what, I've been doing a lot better recently because my back hasn't been hurting that much. I don't know what it is either. I don't know what I did, but it really hasn't been hurting that much. It just all of a sudden just started. I don't know what's going on, but it's still there, but I noticed it just haven't. I go to a pain specialist this week. So that's super dope. But thank you for asking. Yeah, so glad I'm a part of the nursing field. Yes, the nursing field. Lakeisha Cole she has a certificate in STNA, I think. I think she's an STNA. You're a math tutor right now and thinking about going back to school this fall with a bachelor's degree. I should be okay just to start. Okay, that's a question, isn't it? That's a question? Okay, for one, you're a non-traditional student. Good for you. And I'm not being sarcastic. I mean, good for you. Because this what you just wrote, do you do a lot of weightlifting? Yes. But you know what? I'm careful of that. There's stuff that I just don't do. I don't do back exercises with lifting up stuff. I don't do none of it. I stopped doing that a long time ago. So I don't do any of those. I don't know. It's just different. Something's going on where but I do a lot of chi. I use chi energy. So, you have an associate's degree in medical assistant. So she's a medical assistant. She has a 2-year degree. And I'm going to ask you more about that as soon as I get to Born Savior's statement. Okay, so non-traditional student. He's going back to school to get his bachelor's degree. And he's looking at being an accountant, correct? So I gave you the statistics because what this website is doing is giving. Okay, so what this website is doing is it's giving you statistics based on a national average. That's what it's doing. So what it's not doing, it's not telling you what demographic or what geographical area to head into but it's telling you the median. The problem with the median is just because something has an average of $70,000 doesn't mean you're walking into $70,000. Not to mention, it's not telling you over how much time you need to reach this median. So the median is skewed because when you say the average person, who makes potato chips makes, $20 an hour, how long did it take them to get to the $20 an hour? See, it's not telling us how long it took somebody with, and she's talking to Nicole, but the answer is no, she's not. But it doesn't tell you how much education they have. It doesn't say, are they a CPA? It doesn't say if they were a CPA for the average of 3 years. It's not telling you that. It's just telling you the average is $70,000 a year. You know what I'm saying? It's just not telling you that. So I say when you look at these national average, dig deeper. Go into the area you're looking at working in, whether you're already in it or not. Like Nicole, she's looking at Houston. So she's like, this is what I make here in Miami. This is what I'll make in Houston. That's how you have to do it. And then you have to look at the experience. I've been doing this for 4 years. This is what somebody for 4 years. Okay, my average median is in between, the average, I'll just do it. I'll look up the median for the degree that I have and then show you some things. Because I've been looking at jobs within the degree that I have, and I'm telling you right now, there's no way I'm going to get a job tomorrow and get paid what they're talking about. So my degree is in healthcare administration. And they're going to give me a list of jobs that I can apply for right now. But I'll just put A here. And I'll put in Ohio because that's where I am. So like I said, you want to be kind of specific. Okay, so it's giving me a director of operations. It's giving me a medical office assistant. It's giving me administrator. It's giving me operations manager. So it's giving me all of that up under the medical field. So 81,000, 29,000, 54,000, 58,000. This is just with my degree. So that's what I suggest you do in the area that you're going to work in. An accountant in the area of, Washington, D.C., what is the average? Then they're going to break apart what kind of accountant. And then, of course, it's going to be what corporation you're working for. And then it's going to be the experience. And that's what really gets you. So if I was looking at walking into, like, going to somebody and say, hey, I have no experience being in a hospital, a health administrator. Nonetheless, here's my resume. What I'm going to get is, being that I have no experience, I'm going to get some people who are interested. Why? Because there's a need. And that's the biggest thing. There's a need for an accountant. We were just talking about how we needed one now. But there's a need for what I do. That's the biggest and greatest thing. Because if nobody needs you, nobody cares. But there's a need for what I do. So they're going to look at me. They're going to look at my demographic. I'm an African-American male. I'm 51 years old. That's a huge factor, because a 25-year-old and a 51-year-old, how long I'm going to be at work, how much time they can get out of me. Am I going to jump ship after 2 years? Am I looking to get my experience here and be gone in 3 months? That matters. If you're looking at a 25-year-old, guess what? That 25-year-old, they probably just got married, or they got a girlfriend or boyfriend, and they're looking to get married. Guess what? They're going to settle there. If they're talking to that person and they're getting that information from them, that's what they're trying to do. Trying to find out, how long are you going to be here? Because they're investing in you. It's an investment to train someone. You train someone and then they jump ship on you. You're just like, dang, I got to retrain someone. That costs money. So you're looking at a 25-year-old. Well, you're not in that caliber. So if you're looking for at a 25-year-old, 27-year-old, some people, some of my subs, they're looking to get married. Well, they're looking to settle into an area and to get married. So when an employer sees that, they're just like, okay, in New York City, yeah, I'll be doing an internship here, and then I'm going to do an internship abroad. So I plan on I'm either going to go to Europe or Africa. And Africa, to me, is more interesting right now than Europe. I've been to Europe before, but Africa is way more interesting. And what I'm looking at is going to Ghana. That's what I'm looking at. I'm really interested in going to Africa. And when I do, it's going to be business all day. But I got to get my money and all that together. But I'm looking at studying abroad. Probably before I get, it depends on what my counselor is going to tell me, my VA counselor is going to tell me, because right now she's like, no, you're about to end your program. But if I can get my program either reopened or get my program to stay open and go right into my master's degree and get accepted where I'm at now, which I think I have a good chance of getting accepted, even though my GPA is low, I'll just be on probation for the first class. If that happens, then I'm not going nowhere, because I want to soldier through all the way to 2020 and be done and come out with a master's, and then, get my internship, while I'm doing that, and get my experience, and then go to Ghana, but wherever I go, it's going to be just to study their healthcare system, because I want to, my concentration is world health. My concentration is working for a World Health Organization, which there actually is a World Health Organization. It's called the WHO. So my interest is not so much corporation. My interest is the entire globe. That's my interest. My interest is pandemic infections. AIDS, Zika virus. I'm interested in those, not only on a healthcare level as far as how it affects different countries, but I'm also medically interested in it. So I like biology classes, and it's a good chance that I might still study biology, because I really like looking at the body and interested. So on my own, after I get all the education I need, I'll probably settle somewhere and be taking like little biology classes here and there. I might end up with a biology degree, but that's not something that has to happen. My concentration is law, actually. So I'm interested in rewriting some of the laws and or promulgating some of the laws in different areas for different people who can't take advantage of the way the healthcare system is made. That's really what I'm interested in. There's some people who are at a disadvantage. Okay, case in point, long-term care. Long-term care is a big, big soft spot for me, especially for children. I have a tenacious appetite towards fixing long-term care, but you can't do it on your own. You guys know I've been in the political arena before. I want to head back to the political arena, but I want to do it now as somebody who can affect the political arena. And lawyers are really good for that, you know what I'm saying? Because they know the law. That's what they do. Healthcare law. So long-term, I want to end up being a lawyer. Okay, so, but and end up help writing and or influencing the laws that are written, which means you have to petition Washington. So that's really what I'm interested in the long-term view. In the long-term view, that's at the rate I'm going, maybe 6 years away. At the rate I'm going, if I can jump into school right away and knock my BA. Knock out my MBA out by 2020, and hopefully jump right into law school after that and get my JD within like that year, that next 2 years. And So it's a lot of schooling, but this is what I want to do. Some of you are like, why don't you have a girlfriend? That's why. I don't have time. I don't care about that. So yeah. Now, as far as you're concerned, as far as internship and stuff like that, if you can, if you don't have anything tying you down, not in so much a negative way, but I don't have nothing tying me. I don't have no family, no nothing. It's just me. If you can, yeah, in my mind I do. And it's getting more. Okay, so I was told by a young lady some 6-7 years ago that I had I was just out here doing nothing. She wouldn't date me because I was doing, it was the best rejection I ever got. You know, and I wasn't mad about it because I was like, you know what? I'm not really doing anything. She's like, you got to do something. I think it was longer than 6 years ago. It was like 10 years ago. And she's like, you're Luthness. You're not doing nothing. I was like, she said, what's your 5-year plan? And I was stumped. I was like, well, I'm going to McDonald's in about later on today, but other than that, I'm going to go home. But I was stumped, and she already had her bachelor's degree, and I was just like looking at her like, I looked at her in a whole new different light, because I was just like, oh, okay, 5-year plan? Shoot. Yeah, let me get back to you on that about 5 years. And it just always stuck with me. That wasn't to say that I was completely doing nothing or I didn't have nothing in my mind that what I wanted to do. Because actually, the reason why I was actually talking to her is because I was trying to create my own business at that time. But I didn't really have too much faith in that. All right. So when she asked me that, I had to start thinking about it a lot more clearly. And I had a lot of things that were in my way. Nonetheless, I started being reactive to that. I started looking back into VA programs to help me get money to pay for school. I started knocking on the doors of the schools that I either went to or could go to again. I got a lot of rejection. I got so much rejection, it was disheartening. But I kept going until I found one school that I knew that I could go to that I went to before and that was accepted in the VA program. So, then I had to go to the VA program and was like, okay, this is what I want to do. They were like, no. And then one day they just called me up and said, come down here to the university and we're going to talk to you about the program. Because I was only 10%. You had to be 20% more. They were like, okay, what do you want to do? I was like, this is what I want to do. They said, you are now in the program. Then, my counselor that I had, great counselor, but she was just like, you're not doing any of these programs that you're asking for. Why? Because those programs don't pay. The design is once you get your bachelor's degree, you can go back out into the world and you can actually work. Now, this is before I had a car accident. Okay. Nice talking to you. This is before I had a bachelor's degree. Or I'm sorry, this is before I had my back injury. So I was still working and, everything. But these things just, it starts stair-stepping. And then I got back into the university I wanted to go to, but I was working, and then I was working these long hours. Plus, it was far away, and sometimes I had money, sometimes I didn't. It was a struggle. It was just something else. Then I got into my car accident, things slowed down, so on and so forth. Long story. Nonetheless, do I have things mapped out? Yes. And as I keep going, I'm like, I want to do this, and this. So, yeah, I have things churning up here, but I've been producing. It isn't like I'm sitting here like, I don't know where I'm going. Now I have a direction, and I even have the schools that I want to go to. One of them I'm already in. I have a good idea of what I want to do. Now it's how to get it done. Get yourself a plan. Even if it doesn't work, you had a plan. You did something. You were moving. You are moving forward. Move forward. I think there's one person left. What's your plan? Whoever's left. Who's that, Nicole? Who's left? What's your plan? You gotta have a plan. I plan on fixing my computer. I got random computer parts. Just what's this guy do? Just random stuff. Just like what do you do? What's this guy doing here? Get yourself a plan. Get yourself more than one income. I don't care if you make 50 cents. That's your 50 cents. That's your 50 cents. 50 cents a day? Man. 50 cents a day though? $250 a week? You think that ain't no money? Wait until you ain't got no money. You'll be like, that $2.50 came through. No! I needed gas money to get to this interview, and that's all I had. I'm trying to tell you. What's up? Somebody just joined. How you doing today? We just talking about money, talking about work. Talking about how to get more money up and get more money. Talking about these jobs out here. Where the good jobs is at? Where the good jobs at? How to be independent. Get that independent money. That 1099 contract. Hey, tomorrow. 1099. Work for yourself. Who just joined? Who that is that just joined? Somebody just joined. What's up? Who is it? What do you do for a living? Do you have a degree? Do you have an advanced degree? Do you have a certificate? If you don't, why not? You want one? Where are you going to get it from? After you got it, how much are you going to make off of it? You know what I mean? How much you plan on making off of going to school? How much experience do you have to have? How much? What is your projected income? What is it? What's your projected income? My projected income is, how much do you think you're worth? How much do you think you're worth? How much? $10 an hour? The people at McDonald's, they want to raise from minimum wage, which I think is $8 an hour or something like that. And they want that to be raised to almost double. Let's look at the national minimum wage. This is interesting because the reason why they want a raise to pretty much double. Okay, so the average minimum wage depends on state. It goes in between $7.25 to $7.85 in 2018. Now, the people who want the minimum wage raised in the fast food area say they can't live off of minimum wage. This is interesting because the average worker who's making minimum wage in the fast food area has changed from what it used to be 10, 15 years ago to what it is now because of the economy. Okay, so bust it. The average worker 15 years ago that used to work minimum wage was high schoolers and college students until they got out of college and then they went on, to what they studied for, right? Not anymore. The average age has gone up. Right. Hyperinflation. The average age has gone up from your 19 to 20-year-olds all the way up to your 40 to 50-year-olds. I mean, it has gone up. Like, these people are husband, wife, kid. They got the whole shebang at home. And they either lost their job or this is the job that hey, look, don't get me wrong. There are some people who can work some fast food and work circles around me. I ain't mad. I ain't mad when somebody can flip the burger, make the fries, make the coleslaw and the whole doggone thing and put it all up there and make it look great. Look, I'm not mad at all. I say, pay that person. That's what I say. Especially when you walk in and the place is spotless. When you walk in and all the tables are being cleaned off, there ain't no crumbs to be found. When you get great customer service, pay that person. Pay that person because that means I'm coming back to your establishment. Bottom feeders, not so much, just because it's minimum wage. Bottom feeders, to me, for one, the term bottom feeder is usually made out to be bad. Catfish are bottom feeders. People don't usually go after catfish because bottom feeders, they eat anything that's at the bottom of, the lake or whatever. It's known to be kind of like but nonetheless. So the average age of a minimum wage person has gone up. So you got whole families that are working there now, like 40, 50-year-olds, 30-year-olds working in there. But the minimum wage hasn't gone up. Just because you're 35 years old doesn't mean we're going to pay you more because of your age. It's like, I got 2 kids. We don't care. You're still going. Now, here's the thing. The push for minimum wage has gone up because the average age of the worker in the McDonald's or the fast food places has gone up. So if it would have been the same, your high schoolers you can work at 16 to 21, if that was the average age range, do you think there would be this big push for the minimum wage to go up? The answer is no. There would not be. Well, I appreciate you listening, sir, but the answer is no. It's simply because of the way the economy has been fluctuating. See, now they're like, oh, the president's like, oh, it's good, the jobs are good. Well, that depends on who you're talking to. That really depends on who you're talking to, because you got college students who are still working those jobs because they can't find a job in what they're studying for, because those jobs aren't there. See, when you're saying that jobs are good, let's look at the Atlanta market. I just did a video on how Atlanta is going to lose 20,000 jobs by next year, by 2019. So when you're saying that the market is good, the market is not good for everyone, Mr. President. It's just not. He's just like, jobs, we got more jobs. Well, you should be specific about that. Okay, then you should also add on, okay, there's jobs, but can those people feed their family with the jobs that they have? You should be happy to have a job, really? Well, if I was on unemployment, my unemployment average would be about the same amount as the job that I'm working and getting paid. That's just the truth. So then you have people who are just like, screw this, I'm going on unemployment. And then they find a way to do that. But the president is just like, I'm cutting all that out. For the people who really don't need unemployment, you're not going to be on, or they're making it harder for you to be on unemployment, and or they're cutting your extension. If you go on unemployment, it usually lasts for 6 months, right? Then you got to report that you're actually looking for a job, because it's not meant for you to stay on. But if you're unemployed and you can't find a job, then there was a thing called an extension where you can extend out for another 6 months. That's all starting to slow down. So for the person who really is looking for a job and they're unemployed and their 5th and 6th month is coming up and they still can't find a job in what they do, they have to start looking to what they can do and what's available, but it might not be enough for them and their family. Intro, the fast food market. Yeah, you can come work in here. You know why? Because the attrition rate is high in fast food. You know why? Because they don't pay enough. Now, what they're making is colossal. They're making billions of dollars. And can they afford to pay their employees more money? The answer is yes. But you can't force them to do it on your own. But the government can force them to do it. But here's the problem. If you take that one subsection of a subsection of just food, just fast food market, and you raise the minimum wage amount simply because of their workers or for those workers, you do it just for that section, and you do it by the government. I mean, that's almost anarchy right there. That's almost asking for it. What's going to happen is you're going to create a huge imbalance. It's going to be kind of like when AIG was paying everybody, when President Obama came in and through AIG Insurance was paying all them bailouts, and then some people were going, well, why didn't you give me a bailout? It's going to have the same effect. It started destabilizing even more because people are like, well, why can't I get a bailout? What about me? It's going to be unfair, especially at $15 an hour, when right now the average is $7.50. You're going to double it plus. I'm telling you right now, that's a mistake. That is a mistake. See, but the corporations aren't going to let you bully them. They're like, we know that the average person is 40 and 35 and got a family. We don't care. We sell cheap hamburgers. That's what we do. And we sell a lot of them. But we don't care. They don't care. Now, my solution to this is, for one, every McDonald's is not up under the same umbrella, even though it has a McDonald's name. So There are a lot of McDonald's, there are a lot of these fast food restaurants, they're privately owned. There's people who own a chain of them. All of McDonald's is not owned by the same person. My solution is you would have to go to the person who actually owns the chain. And you would have to have some incentive for that person who owns the chain to help you make more money other than just a yearly or a biannually raise of 25 cents, which doesn't even cover your taxes. That's pretty much the only thing you can do. But if you try to force the government to do this, you're going to have people in the medical field saying, why can't I make more money? We don't care if we make this amount of money, so what? We want to make more now. Why can't we do it? And it's just going to set a tidal wave of hyperinflation and imbalance through the whole nation and probably through the whole world. And when I say through the whole world, let's go back to AIG and what happened during 9/11. What happened was the World Bank ended up paying out. Because remember how everything stopped on 9/11. Everything, the whole world froze on 9/11. The financial system crashed. And Greece is still going through that. Greece are fighting people in the street. Why? Because the bigwigs sucked all the money out of pretty much Greece. They sucked all the money out of it. And now the average person can't go out there and find a good job. This is why they're warring over there in Europe. This is the problem. Because they know it wasn't them who did it. They're just like, we know the bigwigs did this. We know they took all the money out and these greedy, mega giants, wherever, the 1% sucked all the money out of Europe. And now, our country is destabilized. And if you go and look at a lot of these other countries, destabilization all over the place. That's still affecting us now. 9/11 is still affecting us right now. And don't you ever think that it's not. It really is. Destabilization is still happening right now. As a matter of fact, to me, it's still critical. For people to say, oh, we bounce back, and just like China bounced back. But nonetheless, when you look at the value of the dollar and the value of the yen, not really comparable. As a matter of fact, we can look that up. You look at the value of the dollar and the value of the euro. Then what did they do with the euro? They said, okay, we're going to take the euro and we're going to make it through all of Europe. Because remember, Germany had the Deutschmark. You know what I'm saying? And all these other people had these other type. No, they said, we're going to make it all one. And as a matter of fact, the euro is worth more than $1. Let's get into that. That's a good apple right there. Euro to the dollar. Then I'm going to take the yen to the dollar. For every, for every United States dollar is $1.14. Now this is going to change though. This is going to change. Okay, so they're saying that Europe is worth 1 to every $1.14, but that's going to change. Now, when I was in Germany, so right now the dollar is worth more than Europe, but I'm telling you that's going to change. When I was in Germany, this is what we looked at every day. We had a big sign that told us, and they were flipping numbers. Like it just flipped, like, it wasn't actually flipping, it's just a digital thing that showed us what the Deutschmark was to the dollar rate. So if the Deutschmark was like it is here, worth $1, and the US dollar rate was worth $1.14, we'd all go shopping. That weekend, we'd go spend our check on the economy because we could get more. We would make the trade and we would get more, we would get more for our dollar pretty much. And when it goes down, nobody goes shopping, or people would travel, all through Europe. I'm gonna look at the yen. So for every euro, $1 is worth $1.14. So I'm gonna look at the yen because right now the Chinese are doing something that's really interesting. Massive the protests even? Hold on, I'm gonna read your comment. I'm gonna read it directly. For every yen is 1, and for every dollar is 0.0091. I am not even sure if I'm reading that right. 89. That's not even. Like, wait, what? Historically rate, the conversion, exchange rate is sort of different from those. Japanese adopted the gold standard. I would have to get more into that because I don't understand what I'm reading. And I don't want to misquote. Okay. There's a massive protest all over the United States right now. Yeah, there is. There is. Yeah, actually, it's all over the world because of destabilization. We were talking about the yen and the euro to the dollar. What's worth more and why? Minimum wage going up. And if minimum wage went up, what would it do? Especially if it went up for a certain group who is pushing real hard to make minimum wage go up. That's because they can't find good paying jobs somewhere else. Now, let's just take a regular factory worker. We'll just say, I don't know, just factory work, clothing manufacturing. Right now, that's big in Africa by way of China. Because what China is doing is they're building in Africa. But the reason why China is building in Africa is not because they like the Africans. It's because they like the fact that there are so many Africans. China, as you know, is running out of space. So they're looking at Africa as the new China. There's going to be a problem with that because Africans are pretty much going to be tired of people trying to take their land. And they're already trying to kick all the white people out of some of the countries in Africa. And when I say they're trying to kick them out, they're like, give us back our land or we're going to kill you. That's it. Some of the presidents have said, point blank, you have so much time to leave our land and give us all our land back. Mind you, those people who colonization happened hundreds of years ago, you know what I'm saying? And those people who, you know, the Dutch, the French, the English, that came there and pretty much brutalized everyone with war, their effects are still there. You know, Rwanda back in 98, you know, they had a couple civil wars where there was so many thousands of people who died, almost 100,000 at one point. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Those civil wars were started by white people. Now, before people go off and say, I'm going to say white people are the devil, I'm not. That's not where I'm going. Because the people who were stupid enough to believe some of the things that were spewing out of other people's mouth, you're the ones who actually fired the bullets. It was just a small group of people who actually said one thing and whispered in the two different, you know, kings or chieftains' ear. And next thing you know, you have a civil war that amounted to nothing. Basically, what happened was they told two different tribes. For one, they made the two different tribes. They were all one people. The Tutsis and the Hutus, they're really one people. They're all the same. They say the difference between the two of them are their noses. You all look alike. You all come from that same country. You all look alike. So they made a difference between them, the Dutch did. And pretty much then you arm one group, say a bunch of lies, and you know these people said this about you. Then you arm them, then you have a bunch of them knocking each other off. And while the Dutch sit back and collect the diamonds, this is why I don't want to have nothing to do with diamonds, other than working diamonds, like using to cut and stuff like that. That I'm with because that's what they're good for. But all this diamonds are a girl's best, not here. Gold, I'll put a gold band on you, but diamond, never, ever, ever. I don't even wear jewelry. I don't. So nonetheless, so yo, what's happening, Brooks? I ain't seen you in a minute, man. We just talking about world situations, man, jobs and stuff like that. So basically, this is how a couple of those world wars started. those people arm themselves. But this has been happening ever since they realized that Africa was actually there. Because you had the Dutch come in, you had the Polish, the English, French, you had all kind of people invade Africa, and now they're being invaded because the Africans are like, fine, we're just going to come to your country and multiply. And I say this all the time. The people who invaded Africa were clearly unaware of what an African is. I'm not going to go into the Bible and all that, but nonetheless, the African has the ability to populate in mass numbers very quickly. Kind of like I don't know, just like any animal that populates quick, rabbits. That's what they do. Now, a person who realized this back in whatever, 17, whatever, I think it was Benjamin Franklin, realized that the European populace is very small compared to every other race, especially the black or brown people. Now, there was already slavery here. So he was kind of like realizing, like, we just brought our own infestation over to this country. It's pretty much what he was saying. Within a few hundred years, they're going to outnumber us dramatically. When they say that the African and or African American is the minority, that is only by like job status. Okay, when you look at who gets paid the most, you got white man, white woman, Asian. Okay, you got Caucasian, Asian, black, and then Hispanic. So I think it's running like that. Now, of course, you got a bunch of other nationalities, especially people from India. Trust me, they getting it in because I don't remember seeing any poor Indians over here. But as far as the populace is concerned, they don't match us even close. Now, when you're talking about the pure populace of how many people are actually here, the number one right now is the Hispanic speaking. This is the Hispanic Indians and Asians, right? The Hispanic speaking American and or Mexican or Guatemala or wherever the Hispanic speaking individual that's coming into the country are the most populated, okay? There is a boom in their population, and this is why Donald Trump is, saying a bunch of this stuff, which I think he's going about it the wrong way, but I kind of understand what he's doing, but he's doing it the wrong way. I will never condone splitting up families. He's doing it the wrong way, and he's using terrible, terrible, terrible language. Yes, he's using terrible, terrible, divisive language to get the point across that they are outnumbered. And then you got, of course, the African and or African American people who are running a close second to them. But the Hispanic speaking Americans and or individuals. Now I'm gonna look this up real quick because I don't just like to go off the cuff with you guys without trying to look up some numbers to give you guys a, because if I'm wrong, I'm like, okay, I was wrong on this. This is what's going on. Plus, I learn as we converse. Like Nicole has taught me an awful lot about her profession today. And FYI, my baby mama, my baby mama is a massage therapist. Basically, what she did was she graduated 4-year college and then said, "I'm gonna be a housewife, but I'm going to go into my own business. I'm going to be a massage therapist." And her husband owns his own business. So she's like, okay, you hold this down and I'm going to hold this down. You know what I'm saying? So that's what they got going on. And it's cool. It's working. Whatever whites for free, they will lose. A better power. They become violent Latinos. Really thought they were no one of us. Now they want us to. Yeah, yeah. Together and realize real all people of color. Right. Yeah, you got a lot of people talking about what the Asians and the Latinos have done. It shouldn't happen because now Latinos are experiencing what black. Right, right, right. See, you got a lot of people talking about it. I'm gonna tell you something. I never really had a run-in with a Latino person, but that's just me. Except one guy, but it wasn't a violent, like we weren't going to clash, anything like that. He was just pretty much telling a lie on me because he was trying to get my boss to pay him for something that I didn't do. So he was using a race card. You know what I'm saying? Come to Miami, you will. Yeah, that's another thing. But see, the area that I live in, the black families are moving out, and the Hispanic people have all moved in. My neighbor, Hispanic. My neighbor before him, Hispanic. My neighbor before them was black. My neighbor before that was black. You know what I'm saying? But Hispanic. The neighbor who just crossed away, Hispanic. They're everywhere now. And they convene right out in the parking lot, you know, but the thing about the Hispanics that are here, all of them are working. All of them. Now, recently, we had a little run-in with one of my neighbors, black woman, who lives 3 doors down. And she's one of those black women. Like, I will, you know, we can go right now. And so what happened was one of his Hispanic guys was, they had the leaf blower thing, and he was blowing rocks because he was trying to get the rocks, clean up the parking lot. But I was like, you're blowing rocks on people's cars. This woman has a brand new car. So she pulled up and she was just like, but no, see, this ain't gonna happen. So I stopped the guy and was just like, yo, you're blowing rocks all over people's cars. It's gonna dent the cars, so on and so forth. He starts speaking to another guy in Espanol, which means I need to learn Espanol. I come into my house and come back out. She's standing out there with her jeans on now, ready to rumble, because she thinks the guy called her the B word in his language. I was like, oh boy. She's like, I'm about to call my cousin. I was like, oh. I was like, nah, don't call your cousin. Let's just figure this out. So I'm trying to calm things down between these two, because I can't say that he didn't because I don't know the language, but I know that she is ready to fight these little guys and my money is on her. And that's just that. So the conflicts between both the races is growing at an alarming pace. We already know the drug wars between the blacks and, Hispanics since both races have been here has been a big thing. But the common folk, they like your spirit versus what's to be expected. They like your spirit versus what's to be expected from the average black person. I don't understand what you're saying. But nonetheless, and I believe if I go to Miami, I will, but I'm just saying there's a lot of them here too. Like they're everywhere. And sometimes they all get together and play with the kids and set up this big old water park for their kids. I mean, every day is like a picnic to these guys because they all work together. If you piss one of them off, you pissed all of them off. They fix the roads, they fix the houses, they fix every freaking thing. And it's just like, I can't be mad at them because they are working as one unit. They really are. They got one thought in mind. Let's get money. That's it. And they go hard in the paint. I can't be mad about that. Okay, population. I'm going to go black versus whites. I'm going to go black versus Hispanic. The United States has a racial and ethnic diversity population. The United States recognizes 6 racial. Okay, the majority of the population, 55%, live in the South. Okay, let me look at this. You know what? I'm going to look at the demographics I'm going to look at the U.S. Census. Read some of your comments. So you will be fine in Miami. Maybe not, because you look like you can pass for Jamaican, Bohemian, or Haitian. That's true. My one neighbor is Haitian. You look like you got a pocket full of money, so would show me a lot of love. Oh, okay. Well, I don't have a pocket full of money, but I ain't broke, that's for sure. Brother ain't trying to do that no more. And you know why I ain't broke? Because I don't have any expensive habits. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't have a girlfriend. My whole concentration is books. You know, that's an expensive habit, but I'm not paying for it. Not yet. I will be soon. So when I do get money, it'll all be going towards educating myself. So it's an expensive habit, but it's not a bad habit. Population. Okay. Estimated base. Let's see if it's going to give us white alone. Black or African alone. But there's a alone population. Race and ethnic. Oh, this is different. Okay. Oh, I guess alone compared to marriage. But being that it's in alone, okay, so housing units, housing, population characteristics. This is the way they're doing it is family, non-family. So they have this broken up into a lot of different persons under 5 year percent. Like they have this broken up. It's just not white people, black people, Hispanic, you know, Native American, yada, 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 Asian. It's Asian alone percent, 5.8. White alone percent is 76.6. It's the largest there is. Black or African American alone is 13.4. White alone is 76.6. You saying there are more white people by themselves than there is any other race by at least 60%? Is that what I'm reading? Oh my sweet Lord. That is a staggering number. White alone, non-Hispanic or Latino, not Hispanic. Okay, white alone, not Hispanic or Latino, 60.7% in America. That's just baffling. That's just baffling. Age and sex. Okay, let me just go population. See if I can get a better catharsis of what I'm reading. Age and sex, race, Hispanic, not population characteristics and population characteristics. Let me see. That's interesting though. Okay, and it does it by state. All right, this is not going to give me a clue. Sorry if this is getting a little boring or tedious, but I have to, it's still information you can come back to. 60% of the country is white. White alone. Well, that's because they didn't know what they were bringing over to the. It's white alone. It's the white people that are by themselves. So if you take the black people that are by themselves and white people by themselves, you're going to find a larger amount of white people who are by themselves than you'll find black people. That's the way I'm interpreting this, and I'm not exactly hoping I'm wrong. I'm just like, is that right? I've never read this before, so this is all for info, please. Population of United States by race, Hispanic, Latino origin census. Okay, this is a census of 2000 to 2010. This is just the Hispanic race, I think. Okay, census 2010. Total population, sweet Christmas, 300 million, 308,745,538. That's a lot of people. White, 196,817,502. Okay, 63. It's almost 40% more. 63.7. Black African American. This is wrong. 37,685,848. 7%. I mean, 12.2%. This is definitely. I'm reading this wrong. I gotta be. This is the census in 2010. Percent of population. This gotta be for. Nope. U.S. statistic. This is for the U.S. See what I mean? But I still think we're okay. Guys, hold on for a second while I get my bearings. American Indian. Well, that's not a lot. There's only 2 million American Indians. 2,247,098. Asians, 14,465,124. Native Hawaiian and or Pacific Islander, 481,576. Hispanic or Latino, 50 million. Okay, the total population is, okay, so that was the total population. 308 million. The Hispanic population is 50,477,594. This is what it was in 2000. Oh my goodness. It was 35,305,818. In 10 years, 15 million people have poured into the country that were of one race alone. The Hispanic and or Latino, 15 million people within 10 years. That is staggering. That is colossal. Sweet Christmas. Here's another thing that's crazy. The American Indians have gone down since 2020. In 2020, they were 2,475,956. In 2010, there were 2,247,098. So they're not populating as fast. The numbers are going down. Black or African American, 37,685,848 by 2010. In 2000, 34,658 and 190. So only 3 million in the past within a 10-year span. This gotta be wrong. This has to be wrong. I'll read your comments in just a minute. This has to be wrong. You cannot tell me there's only 37 million of us here. Well, then again, this is 8 years ago. But I still don't believe, okay, and once again, whites, 100 million, 196 million. That's a huge number. That just pales in comparison. But their number has gone down since 2000. They were 200 million, 211 million, 460,626. That was in 2000. Their number has gone down. It dropped 10 million people. Actually, it dropped 14 million people. So this number is declining. Our number has grown by 3 million people within a 10-year span, but the Hispanics people has grown pretty much exponentially. That's crazy. I'm gonna read your comments now. That's crazy. I gotta get back to that. Yeah, please don't use that language, but yes, this is why they're scared. That is a ridiculous number. That's ridiculous. I have to read that again. Like, I gotta find out what it is now. Because that number right there, that should make, that's not wrong. Okay, that number right there should bring everybody to like a standstill, because that's ridiculous. There's only 37 million of us. There's 50 million of them, but within the last 10 years, I mean, since 2000 to 2015, this is why the president is acting a fool. It's true. Freely populate, their country is right next to ours. Our country is across the water. Pretty much. All Latinos are on the rise, and they will take over gladly. So congrats, white people. Oh, it's lights out. Now, there's more of them, but okay, if we took that average, now, mind you, this is 2010. It's almost 10 years later. I'm telling you, that number is going to be ridiculous. Black men and women pregnant and leaving them to raise them alone. Black women don't want to keep going through it, so abortion goes through the roof. Black men get stiff sentences. Very much so. But now our number as far as Black people is going up 3 million. We are doomed in this country. Our number keeps rising. The white people's numbers are going down, but the Hispanic numbers, 15 million people in 10 years. That's got to be double right now. That's got to be almost double. I'm going to look that up in a minute. As soon as I read this, a lot of Indians are dying. Suicide. Yeah, their numbers are going down like crazy. But the white people have lost 14 million people. Their number is 14 million people less over the last 10 years. It's like they're losing 1.2 million people a year. How? War? It's got to be war. Yeah, that's why he's acting like that. Oh, it's a matter of seconds before they take this country over. Yeah, so in Europe, they have put out a notice to white people and tell them to start having babies. They even have gone so far as to pay white people to have babies. Now, I believe one reason why our number is curbed is because there are so many of us in jail. There are so many of us who are Willie lynched into killing each other through this horrific music, through the terrible TV shows that show us fighting and calling other out our names and stuff like that. That's curbing our numbers dramatically. Like, we're just, I mean, in Chicago a week ago, there were 59 shootings in 2 days, 12 people dead. Like, this is not an accident. This is nowhere near an accident, and I don't think it was all Black people. I'm just going to say that. The cities white people occupy a whole state like Iowa. That is true. 10 of my white guy friends are only sons or only child, and they all gay and don't want to have children. That's not good. Right, throwing drinks. Yeah, I don't watch Love and Hip Hop. I don't watch TV. I don't put none of that corrosive stuff. I don't listen to this terrible music. You guys see what I do. I listen to my own music. Now, I want to look up the population now. Shoot, this shocked the mess out of me. I gotta look up what's going on now. I mean, I'm just in a I thought we outnumbered them. I'm just in a state of shock. Okay, I'll have to do it like this. I'm just in a state of shock. I'll take 2017 because the census might not have been done for this. This is Wikipedia's, but demographic of the United States. United States is estimated to be a population of, okay, 328,229,457. This is as of August 11, 2018, making it the third most populated country in the world. Okay. 80% of residents in, okay, suburbs. California is showing where most of the people live. Estimated 1.82 children per woman. Approximately, populations increase. It's hurting my eyes. Okay, so let me get to there were about 125.9 million adult women. No, that's not what I want to know. And that's for a statistic for 2014. People, population 27%. This is giving you their age and everything. Okay, the United States Census Bureau defines white people as though having origin of any origin people in Europe. Okay, so telling you what white people are in a population with a total of, all right, white constitute the majority of the United States population. Well, that's not going to last long. With a total about, that's crazy. Okay, so the last total we looked at, what did we say they were at 194 million? Well, now they're at 245,532,000. So it has gone up. 77.7% of the population is white. I was wrong. This is why I go like to hit the internet like, wait a minute, because I thought we outnumbered them, but we don't. Makes up 62. Okay, so of the population. This is as of 2013. Non-Hispanic whites make up 62.6 of the country's population. Non-Hispanic whites. So there are Hispanic whites. Okay. The American population almost quadrupled during the 20th century, growing rate at 1.3. I don't care. That's population fastest growing majority according to children. Non-Hispanic white population expected. Non-Hispanic white population expected to fall 50% by 2045. That's 20 years from now. 25 years, 27 years. It's expected to fall by 50%. What in the hell is going to happen in the next 25 years where the population of white people will fall by 50%? What do they know that we don't know? I know what you guys are going to say, war. It has been hypothesized by the Huffington Post that the Hispanic population of the United States citizenry will become the majority ethnic group by 2060. And you know what? Okay, so if we do the numbers of what we saw from my last reading, they're at 50 million, right? Within 15 years, because they were at 35 million in 2020 to 2010. So every 10 years, if we take every 10 years and add on 15 million, so by 2020, that's another 15 million. That's going to put them at 65, right? And then you take another 10 years of 2030, that's going to put them at what, 80? 80 million. And so if you say another 10 years, 40, that's going to put them at 95. 50, that's going to put them at 110 million. 60, that's going to put them at what, 100, sorry, I lost my, you can tell I am not good at math. So just add on another 15 million. So 50, that's going to put them at 125. 125 million. But they're saying that the white population is decreasing while the Hispanic population is increasing. Oh, you poor white people. Oh my goodness. According to the Pew Research Center study released, and as a matter of fact, let me change something because this has a rolling statistic. It's not going to be 15 million. Because if we look at from the beginning to when that number started going up, I'm probably saying it's going to be skewed like this. So if the numbers, it's not going to, it was probably 2 million, 5 million, 7 million every 10 years, then 15, 25. So that's where they're getting this from. It's not going to be 15 million every 10 years. That number will probably be cut in half soon, according to this. That's ridiculous. That is, I don't even want to see where black people are at. That is, heck yeah, Public Enemy. That is ridiculous. And that's this lifetime, people. That's this lifetime now. I'm not going to be here, but some of you will be. Well, they're not white. That's because they have white in them. That's why they consider themselves white. They are. Wow. Okay, let me understand this. Your godfather is white, and I'm hungry. And he took all this thinking that's making me hungry. Fear of Black Planet. Oh, yeah. Fear of a Black Planet. Well, Hispanics aren't white people. And any Hispanic that wants to make that argument with me, I will say, okay, the conquistadors were white. The Spaniards were white. But you're as much black as you are white. So I would be like, you're as much black as you are white. So, nope, but they are. They are. I'd be like, hey, you're as much a black person as you are a white person. As a matter of fact, you do not classify as a white person. So, you know what? That's fine. You are what your father is. Eating healthier? Yeah, I've been eating healthier, man. But I started eating chicken every now and then because I be hungry. But I eat skinless chicken. I don't go to like chicken places and get the Kentucky Fried. Try to. I'm too damn big for that. I'm like, y'all vegans need to show me what y'all eat because I'll be hungry all the time. I'm 270. I got this spare tire. Y'all know how it is. Some of y'all got spare tire. Don't front. Some of y'all got spare tire. I know some of y'all got a spare tire. Don't front. I know some of y'all got that spare tire. Shoot. I know some of y'all got it, but I be on that bench though. I'll be still like, what? Don't look up. All right, homie. Okay. I'm a little slow, but you know what I'm saying? I'm a little slow, but I can get it in that gym. 2060, that's a long time from now. But then again, that's what, 40? Nah. Statistically. Statistically, I won't be here. Statistically, I got 30 years. Actually, statistically, I got less than 30 years. 77 is the average. But you got some people living to see 100 plus. So I could be here. Yeah, man, I'll be on that bench, man. I was bench pressing the other day on the conventional bench. I was just taking my time because I was feeling that little. I was like, man, I'm gonna just take my time because I used to be trying to fly through workouts. I'm done with all that, man. I'm not trying to get hurt. Yeah, that's what's up. I just been easing up, just nice and slow on that bench. When I get on a regular bench, man, I don't be wanting to stay on that bench too long. I just don't. But that's the one that gets you big. I'm trying to be strong. You want to get thick, you hit that regular bench, you'll get thick. You'll get thick. You'll be wet. You'll get thick, man. That spare tire ain't going nowhere, man. I'll be seeing these dudes on Instagram flexing with their muscles. Little six packs. I'll be like, man, y'all got that on me, homie. But some of y'all is like $115. Some of y'all weigh like 141. Oh, y'all small, man. Meet them in real life, they're like this big. Like, how much you weigh? Oh, man, 175. You're like, 175? I ain't ever gonna weigh no 175, man. Yeah, still riding motorcycle, popping willies on them, getting the young chicks. Young chicks want to ride, man. You know what I'm saying? Can I ride your motorcycle? They be like, get on the bus, Gus. young chicks want to ride. I'll be like, let's go. I don't know how to ride, but if I had a motorcycle, I'd be dangerous. Because I will snatch your girl in a minute. What's poppin'? Get on about that car, get on this bike, girl. Shoot, they want to ride. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we're dead. I'll never see 175. I'll be glad if I could see 240. I'm gonna go weigh myself. Hold on. Go see how fat I really am. Go see how fat I am. Go see my fat old self. Biscuits and cornbread. Oh, thank you, baby. Thanks, babe. That lets me know that you really, really got something out of the chat. I appreciate that. 260, 261, 262. Wait a minute, you gonna make up your mind? All right, I'm gonna say 263. Okay, settled at 264. But you know what? I ain't mad. Because a couple of weeks ago, it was 270 like one. So, you know, I ain't mad at all. I like to stay away from 270. You know what I'm saying? It was an eye-opener for me. I'm like, jeez. I can buy a sandwich with $4.99. Yes, I can. You know what, man? I tell you what, I wouldn't mind coming down to about I'll take 250 and be happy and be like, yeah, 250. Because I'll be, like I said, man, I'll be in that gym, man. Like, sometime, man, I'll be wanting to go to the gym twice a day. But you know the only reason why I don't do it? Food. It costs a lot. If I lifted like I wanted to, I would be huge. Like if I could eat and afford it like I really want to, I would be huge. But I don't really have a need to be that. I just would be that big. I would be a big dude. I know it. I mean, I would be out to here, bro. Like, and it would happen just regularly. It wouldn't happen because I wanted to be a big dude. If I lifted the way I really want to lift, like hitting them 2-a-days and stuff like that, with my energy level, like sometimes I eat less on purpose. Like I haven't eaten today. I ate like some snacks and stuff because it costs so much. I look at my refrigerator and I know exactly how much I know how long that food is going to last me. And I eat for the energy. I don't usually eat for the taste. I eat for the energy. I've always been that way because I've always been poor, you know, but I still have that frame of mind of you eat things that you can eat on today and tomorrow, like spaghetti. It's cheap. Sauce is cheap. Spaghetti noodles are cheap. I eat lots of spaghetti. Them pizzas you see me making, cheap. Last me all day. But if I eat like my body really wants to, like my muscles really want to, I would be a big dude. Like naturally big. Be like a Bo Jackson. And that's not, I'm not even exaggerating. I would be that big. You know, it's just crazy. So I have to curb my enthusiasm in that gym. I get in there for about an hour maybe, and I get up out of there because muscles cost energy, you know, and some exercises I do, I'm like, I gotta chill. because I'm going to get hungry and I'm going to go home and eat everything. And I can't afford that. I can't afford that. I can't afford to keep doing that on the budget that I have. I have everything budgeted. I know how much everything costs. I have a budget, and I'll be living like this for like the next 4 years. And I'm cool with that. I'm cool. Everything is on a budget. You know what I'm saying? And I'm okay with that. You know what I'm saying? Because once I get off of that budget, it's going to be lights out. I'll be, I don't want to be playing around with, $40,000, $50,000, even though that's good money. I'm not even looking at that. I'm looking at my first year coming back to work for real, maybe 30 to 40,000, not 30, but definitely 40 to 50,000. But that next year, I'm trying to climb right up to 80 and then jump right into the hundreds. Real quick. 0 to 100 real quick. Once I get that experience, because, I'm just boom, and then jump right into the 200,000s. That's my goal. Even if I don't reach it, I think I can get close with education. I think I can get close, and then doing my side hustles, working for, people on the side, taking cases and doing management, and then having management companies and businesses, and then acquisitions and mergers and stuff like that. Because right now the healthcare field is huge with mergers. There's a good chance that the hospital that you have in your closest hospital is probably a general, like Miami General, Miami-Dade County General. That's what a lot of hospitals were. Remember the show General Hospital? Because that was the general hospital everybody went to. Everybody went to that one, that was and then all kind of other hospitals branched off. But that was kind of like the state run, you know what I'm saying? Like the state hospital. It was not the best service, but you could still get service, you know what I'm saying? You need a Midol, or you need you need an extra strength, whatever. You can go up in there and get it because, stubbed your toe real good or something. You went there. Most things that we had going on with us was the flu real bad. Kid gets real sick. You go to General Hospital, you're covered. Now that's all different. It's all different. The General Hospital has been taken over by PNC. I know the hospitals that, the hospital I was born, Akron General, I think they've been taken over. The children's hospitals, the Nationwide hospitals, the PNC hospital. PNC is a bank. Okay, so the banks have gotten to the hospital business because of the insurance. So they're just like, let children's hospital here. Okay, Nationwide hospital. They took over a hospital that's already here and built a new one. And because they wanted the neighboring few acres, some of those acres was a all-Black historic children's school up to 12. They went over there and said, we want this land. And the people over there said, you can have it for a price. And they said, what is it? Build us a brand new school. Done. Like it was nothing. Moved those kids out of there, got another territory, tore down a whole hood. A whole project was all torn down. Matter of fact, I might go by there. I could go by there today and show you. Because they tore down the whole projects they used to live. Because I used to live in those projects. Terrible, terrible projects. But I used to live there about 20 years ago. Tore them all down. All the trees. They left some of the trees, but they tore them all down. Paved a new road. Built a brand new school, track, and everything for those kids. Brand new school. hospital money like it was nothing. It's like, what do you want? A new school, done. Here, move, buy. Tore that school down like there was never a soul there. Track and everything. Football field, done. Whew. Now they own it. That's how hospitals are moving now. But you can only do that through mergers and acquisitions. You can't do that on your own. No general hospital has the money to do that. None. They don't. And or the permission. Whenever you build a wing onto a facility, especially that big, you have to go through a federal program to do it. You have to have a certificate. I forgot what it's called. But basically, somebody on the federal level has to come to your hospital and say, what are you doing? Why do you want to do this? And they have to approve it through the government. And this is for a hospital, through the government. Other than that, it can't happen. The government says, no, you're not building that wing. I don't care how much you need it. Government just be like, nope. You'll be like, I need it. No, you don't. Why? Because Medicaid, Medicare. Insurance, all that's coming through the government. All the contracts it takes to build all that stuff, paid by the government. You're not doing it. Unless you get the government's permission. Once you get their permission, it's a go-ahead. You know, so yeah, it's interesting. And the hospital that I go to, brand new hospital. I don't think that hospital's been there for 5 years. They turned the old hospital into something else. It's still standing though. But they built a brand new VA hospital. Brand new. Still building on it. New garage and everything. Garage going up. They're going to need more room because that lot gets filled fast. But they built the garage going up. They still building on it. Brand new. Brand new building, everything. This is what's going on. The hospital is a business. It's not just a hospital anymore. They're all businesses. It's all mergers and acquisition. I don't know if Nicole is still here, but Nicole was asking me about managing her on the hospital side, on the health side, because she is a successful massage therapist. And I was like, sure. I would have to do that all by, like I'm not going to go and set up in Miami. She's already set up there. I'm in Ohio, so it'll all be done on the internet. And the good thing about that is it's all done on the internet. You know what I'm saying? Where you could have the whole managing business is all done by files being sent from one computer to another and then sent to the government. And, you don't even have to see who's working for you. You just have to have their numbers. And then every now and then, you get audited by the government and stuff like that to make sure everybody is honest, and you keep rolling. You build your business. Next thing you know, you have a healthcare management company that's low overhead, other than the employees. And the employees are all professionals, so they're all making money. Money's coming in. You're paying it. It's something I'm thinking about, to start my own company. It wouldn't be bad because I really don't want to work for somebody. I want to work with them. But like I said, my whole aim is the law itself, and I'm looking at world health. I'm very much interested in world health. And if I could do an intern with the World Health Organization, I think that would just make me one of the happiest people in the world. You know what I mean? I'm actually going to look them up and see if I can do an intern with them. And if I can, I'm going to be in another country. And I'll still be YouTubing you guys like, yo, you guys, I'm in Belize. They have universal health care. This is Guadalupe. Say hi, Guadalupe. I'll be doing stuff like that. Hold on a second. Say hi, Guadalupe. To the music. Oh, we got real serious. That's what happened. That conversation. That conversation got real. Classic hip hop. I'm hungry. I want to eat. Maybe I'll make some music. Make some new beats. Whew. Lots of information, man. Man. Lots of information. So, who's still here, so I don't know who I'm talking to, but cool picture I did a long time ago. I got time to clean this place up. This stuff. That's a baggie. Bag it for now. Put another song on. You know, I'll do like one more time. This is what I want. My computer. Yeah, man. What up? Somebody just joined. How you doing today? I'm getting out my keyboard. happened. On my computer, put this up here. So this over here. My old get fiddle. Get fiddle. I did you wrong, get fiddle. I'm gonna buy me one of those when I can afford it. Buy me another one. I did you wrong, get fiddle. And my get fiddle. My get. Get fiddle. My get. I don't need this anymore. Get rid of that. I don't need none of this anymore, even though I should keep it. It's math. It's algebra from one of my math classes. I should keep it though. W9. What is this? What's up, everybody? Just you guys want to talk about something? We could talk about it. I've been talking for the last 3 hours though. Decided to clean. Trying to see what this is. Something I wrote in 2012. It's my taxes? No, this is a tax form. I'm gonna make some more beats here in a minute if you guys want to hang out for that. Other than that, I'm gonna rearrange this whole room because it's really a mess. Then I'm gonna start doing some more green screen stuff for you guys, making some of my stories, right? But I gotta clean up this whole because it's just a mess. But this is what I'm really after right now. This right here, my keyboard. It's and I can MIDI this keyboard up. I'm gonna MIDI it up to my computer. That way, instead of trying to play on my computer, because all the beats you hear are made with this. But I got this big old thing sitting here, just will literally collecting dust. And so I want to bring it out, and I might just plop it right over here. I might just sit it so I can just turn around and get busy like boop, 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 boop. But I got some other stuff over here that needs to be. I'm gonna go ahead and throw this away. I'm sure somebody will try to put this back together, but whenever you have a guitar like busted like this and you try to put it together, the acoustics of it just really suck. But somebody like play it again, or one of those places, they'll try to put it together. And good luck with it. Try to sell it to some goofball who isn't aware, but they tried to sell me one like that, and I heard it. I was like, dude, something's wrong with this. Why does it sound like that? And they knew. Then I turned over the back. The whole back was taped up. I was like, get out of here. I never went back to the store after that because they were being dishonest. Instead of telling me, oh, this one was cracked or busted, they were being dishonest. They thought that I couldn't hear it. But I have a trained ear for music. You know what I'm saying? I've been doing this for years. I can hear it. So, all right, let me get a rag so I can wipe it down because it's hella dirty. And get on up. Get on up. Get on up. Get on up. I need to sweep my floors too. Gotta mop my floors. Gotta mop my floors too, because they need to get some mopping. You need to get some mopping. You know you need to. I need to get some mopping. So now I'm waiting to get my papers for graduation. You know, I don't work, so shorts is falling down. Can't have that. I don't work, so you know. Oh, it's got batteries in it. So it has batteries and it has a plug-in. So it's not one of them expensive ones. Didn't cost that much. I think my brother gave it to me or something like that. My brother gave it to me, so. There's way too much dust on it, though. Go for some cleaning. So I just got a nice wet towel. Put a little, put some Dawn on it, dishwashing liquid. But I ain't saturated, so it ain't like there's water going in the, you know, it's just damp. Just a damp towel. That'll knock out some of these dust mites. Clean this up a little bit before I clean up and wipe it off real good. Boom, okay. All right. Yeah, just wiping it off. Trying to clean them up. takes 4 batteries, but I'm not even gonna. You can also plug it in. So, takes the D batteries. Like I said, it's not one of them expensive ones. It's not like a Trident cord or nothing like that. But it'll do the trick. We'll clean up right there. And put this over here. Put my garbage can up under here. And I got some other dilly-dallies over here. My little spare change. My spare change go. Spare change, girl. This here. My dilly dallies. Now I gotta find the plug that goes to it. That's where you MIDI up, right here. Plug up, this where your MIDIs go. I'm gonna just set it right here so I can do whatever. I can just turn around and use it. I got a bunch of plugs from all my electronics. Got a bunch of other electronic things here. Just an interface right here. But I already got one. But I bought this a microphone and a headset for $150. It was worth it. Some of my old pictures, paper mache. Painted this. Pretty cool, huh? I did this in art school. That's where I keep my paintings and stuff. Got my old computers in there, my old Compact 64s. Got two of them. Got two of them there. Got one right there. Then I got my two Macs. One there, one in there. Eventually it's gonna go all the way. I'll mess with that later. Because I gotta fix that so I can do my. Okay, so now I gotta find a plug for this. The battery pack is a 12 volt. So it's 12 volts, something like this. Then I gotta get the MIDI to it and plug it in. I like that song. I like that song. It's a good talking song. I made this song yesterday. And you are all invited to the great show. I was sitting back in my Maybach. I don't have a Maybach. I didn't see this is gonna work. Power source. Get it to come on. Life of a musician. Life of a musician, baby. Holler out of it. Oh, yeah. These days, girls act so crazy. No, that's the wrong one. Wrong one. children. I just want to sip a soda to my real ones. Sip a soda. Sip one with the food. Soda. Now let me get to the oldies. I sip the oldies. I get one of these to work. I got a whole bag full of what do I want to eat? I'm hungry. I feel like cooking now. I know what I really want. I want to order a pizza. That's what I really, really want. Not dog. Watch that. That costs too much. It's like $22, man. I ain't got it like that. I ain't got it like that. Oh! Came on. Ooh, ooh. That's an old hip hop. Now I gotta MIDI it up to this. This whole setup is a little difficult though. Don't leave me a lot of space. I'll fix it though. A couple of extension cords. MIDI. MIDI. Got MIDI. I don't know what I did with that MIDI. So what we doing? Oh shoot! I'm just my music. I got my keyboard, and now I'm trying to MIDI this up to this, so you guys can. I'm not a keyboard player, but it'll help me in making music. You like this track right here? I made this track last night. You like it? Oh, baby. Oh, I can't sing to you, that's right. I'd be singing to you. Oh, I get in trouble. Be singing to you. I'd be singing to you, girl. Can't be singing to you, baby girl. Because I sang to you, baby. Oh, where you at? Come on, where you at? I know it's here. I sing to you, baby. You're a pretty thing. I sing to you, girl. Ooh, ooh. Turn my AC back on. got a keyboard at home? You got a keyboard? You play? You got one of those? Little Casio? Where it's at. I don't know where my MIDI cord is. And I'm not about to buy a new one. Damn. It's in my damn. My bag full of cords. I don't know where it's at. I'm gonna have to find it. Ooh. Wow, 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 wow. Oh, oh, oh. Now let me come down there and smoke you on the dance floor now. Don't let that old man do it to you. Now let me come down there and get on the sugar foot. Now let me hit you with the sugar foot, girl. You don't want that sugar foot, girl. Hit you with the sugar foot. You don't want none of that. You be mad, but hit you with the sugar foot. Girl, you don't want none of that. Just some of that sugar. Shoot, I can't find it. Yo. 1 2 1 2. Turn my bass up. Turn the plates up. It's all love. Nicole. Yo, you're so lyrical. You even spiritual. I was beautiful. I've been around, but I felt like I've been here before. What's the matter where to go? Time when the let it go. You got me feel like I haven't had a minute go. Listen, no. where's that? I'll play with it later though. Now I know it. Now I know it. Come on. I can't play worth a damn, but I can play enough to. I'm playing enough to where I need to get my. Saying to get my trifecta on, get my circle of fifths on. You know what I'm saying? I can get a. That's what I want. I want to get better sounds out of it. But I can't stretch my fingers out on this thing because it only allows me to go so far. And I'm tired of the limitation. Plus, when I scale, when I use a, when you start using a scale, you can, that's not in the scale. 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 When I want to come back down. That's in the scale. That's in the scale. Not. It's not in the scale. Same scale on the way up and down. So those things I can't do with this. So, that's why I'm like, in order for me to be better and to start putting out better music, just better sounding music, I need to up my game and actually learn, because GarageBand is a learning program. It has a teach you how to play program on it. So when I'm not live and embarrassing myself, I will, be sitting here teaching myself how to play. I actually took music theory, 2 classes of it was required of me. I took music theory, so I know something, but I am not what you would call a learned musician, but I have a good base, of musicianship that I can build upon. And that's what's important. There's people who can make beats, there's people who can produce, then you have the people who can actually play and actually read music. That is massive. You can actually read music. And I have a desire to be one of those people, and be able to listen and say, this is a fifth, this is, ninth, and things along that chord, because it just helps out your musicianship so much more when you actually know what you're listening to, instead of people going, oh yeah, this sounds like this. And they really don't know what in the hell Chepeka they're talking about. I don't want to be one of those people. I want to know that this is a 9th chord. This is an 11th chord. This is a flat, in a pentatonic or an Aeolian or a Dorian scale. Like I can tell you, if I scale here, I can tell you. That's not in the scale. If I'm starting here. That's not in the scale. Not a scale. See, so I can listen and tell what's a flat note or a sharp or major note by what scale I'm listening to. When you just listen, be like, that's not in the scale. This is in the scale. No, yes, no, yes. That's important when you come to. I'm probably not going to be playing with anybody in a minute, but it's mad important when you're listening to other people play, and or you want to. Like I used to go and take my guitar, get up on stage, play 4 notes, and the musicians knew. Like when you want to be at that level, you got to start learning your scales and things along that line. But right now, like I said, I don't have the MIDI, or I don't know where it's at. But there's some notes in here that are. But this isn't that. That ominous as heck. That was an octave below. It's just a really cool note. It's got that minor in it. If you start going. So you can start getting yourself a little cadence out of it and going, okay, I can do this, 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 and drop this down and then move up. And make something out of that. That's when you want to stretch it. So I want to start here. This is almost a sustain. I wish it told me what notes is what, but that's almost a sustain right there. That's a sustain note. I know it is because I can hear it. Which is at the end of, it's like dun 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 dun, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and sustain. You know what I'm saying? Sustain note, sustain. It's even cooler when singers do it. Instead I have to play on this. F though, this is an F. all major chords. Major chords. All major chords. So I don't know who's listening, but I don't know if it's Nicole. I don't know who's listening. I was going to ask you if you wanted me to make a beat, but I don't know. There's somebody who listens and doesn't say anything. I don't know. You know, is this my man who's walking and working out? I don't know. People are in and out all the time. That's what some of these crazy bass notes. Let's make you want to mess with some bass. Mess with a little bass notes. Some bass. Some bass. Yo. Crazy notes. Let's get a get something going first, right? Let's get something going first, then mess with the bass notes. Somebody just joined. What kind of beat you want to hear? Man. What kind of beat you want to hear? Or you don't care? Or you don't care? Okay. All right, you guys, I'm tired. I'll talk to you later. Thanks for listening up, and I'll probably be back on later on tonight. Talk to you later.